thejbeans.net.
We sailed on the MSC Seaside for 7 nights in June 2023, and we're back with more tips. We hope these 10 additional tips will help you enjoy your next cruise aboard the ship even more. Just a quick note that if you enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up or leave a comment. It really helps our channel. And consider subscribing so you get alerted when we add new videos. Our first tip is to be aware that the 2 buffets on the MSC Seaside have very different operating hours. During our cruise, the larger Marketplace buffet on Deck 8 aft was open significantly more than the smaller Biscayne Bay restaurant and buffet on Deck 16 midship. The Marketplace buffet was open practically all day, from 7 a.m. to midnight, with just a couple 30-minute or hour-long breaks. That included afternoon snacks from 4 to 5 p.m., which wasn't listed in the MSC For Me app. On the other hand, the Biscayne Bay restaurant and buffet was open for breakfast every day from 6 a.m. to 11 or 11:30 a.m., depending on the day. But the only other time the buffet was open was for lunch, from noon to 3 p.m. on days at sea. Speaking of the buffets, our next tip is to ask for assistance if you have food allergies or sensitivities to specific foods. Although the buffet signage on the Seaside conveniently listed the name for each food item in multiple languages, including English, Italian, German, and more, the allergy information was extremely limited. During our cruise, we only saw additional information for food items that contained pork. Our third tip is to delay your trip to the main dining rooms if you have one of the earlier seating times. During our cruise on the MSC Seaside, we noticed that the lines to enter the Seashore restaurant on Deck 5 aft and the Ipanema restaurant on Deck 6 aft were quite long, leading up to the restaurant's opening time. We found that heading towards the restaurant at the start time for our dinner allowed us to avoid the initial rush and congestion. Speaking of the main dining rooms, our next tip is to check the icons on the menus in the main dining rooms for helpful dietary information. During our cruise, the menus featured icons that clearly marked items that were vegetarian, vegan, and no sugar added. The menus also had a deliciously healthy icon for items that were a healthier alternative. Our fifth tip is to head to Bistro La Boheme on Deck 8 midship if you just want a quick bite for breakfast. During our cruise, the Seaside's Bistro had a small selection of pastries available each morning, including croissants, donuts, and muffins. Our next tip is to take advantage of the slightly larger complimentary showers in the locker rooms of the gym on Deck 8 forward if you're looking for a bit more space than what your stateroom shower offers. In addition to the showers being more spacious, they also had larger shower heads, and the locker rooms had complimentary lockers, a changing area, and a hairdryer. A complimentary sauna was also available. Our seventh tip is to head to guest services on Deck 5 midship if you want to pick up an extra copy of the paper daily schedule. During our cruise, the extra schedules were available in a brochure display that was located near the guest services desk. Speaking of guest services, our next tip is to use the terminals located in the atrium area near guest services to add a credit card or other form of payment if you weren't able to do so prior to boarding your cruise. Quite a few terminals were located on multiple decks of the atrium area, which made it easy to complete the process. Our ninth tip is to be aware that the odd-numbered staterooms are located on the port side, or left side, of the MSC Seaside. To help us remember this, we thought of numbering the ship with 2 columns, from left to right, or port to starboard, and from top to bottom, or forward to aft. Our 10th and final tip is to look for the card tap graphic in the bottom right area of the Seaside's touchscreen displays when you need to provide access to your cruise account. Some of the services available through the touchscreens, such as reserving theater show tickets, required us to access our cruise account by tapping our cruise card. During our cruise, we saw several people struggling to figure out exactly where to tap their cruise card because the card tap graphic was not very noticeable.